Hello, hot and sexy people in my phone. I am on my bed. I'm a bit lower than I was before because I've got a new bed. New bed alert! Which, if you watch my videos, you would know that. Just saying. Anyway, I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time, but circumstances, you guys. So this is gonna be a little video about my most reviewed movies. I'm a serial rewatcher. I love watching the same things over and over. I love a new movie, but I love familiarity. I love to rewatch stuff. I don't know, like it's just good. I rewatch movies, I rewatch TV shows. I re-listen to podcasts, I revisit albums. I don't know. I love the familiar. I think it just keeps me grounded, and what I really love, especially with movies, is just like finding new things with every rewatch. And I use letterboxr. If you're a real cinephile, you know. If you're not, you don't know, but you might have heard of it. Anyway, and through letterboxr you can actually view, like you can sort your movies by amount of times watched. So I went with that, although I'm sure there's some in there that I've watched even more, like since before I had letterboxd. And I think I only got letterboxd in 2017, I want to say. So this is just a reflection of the past 8 years. Hold on. 8 years of my life. Oh, like the passage of time, guys. So actually, surprisingly, like some of these I'm like, I should have watched these a lot more. I used to review every single time I would rewatch something. I've kind of relaxed that a little bit now. I don't need to put my 2 pence in every time. Not unless I feel like I've got something really groundbreaking to say. Like, I don't need to make it a quirky thing. Also, there's some of these, I'm not going to go through every review, but there's some of them that are so of their time. They're so like 2017, 2018, where I was just like really like fighting for the cause. And honestly, I was right, to be honest. Like, there's somewhere I'm like calling out like misogyny, and I'm like, period. Kind of bring that back, actually. But yeah, I took it really, really seriously. I was really into like, you know, just like representation on screen, la di da di da, and like problematic things. And now I'm just kind of like, yeah, I laughed. 5 stars. So yeah, I'm gonna go from least, not ever, but just like of the most frequented. I'm gonna go from least watched to most watched, and the most watched one could surprise you, but won't if you really know me. And my bestie right now is clickety clacking, I think, hopefully. So I've only watched these movies 4 times. Only 4! And I'm not gonna look at the reviews for these because there's a lot of ground to cover. Big Eden, which you should definitely watch. I'll do like a very simple synopsis, I guess, of these. Big Eden is about a big city boy who is gay. He has to go back to his hometown in like podunk America, I don't know, and he's not out in his hometown, and he has to take care of his ailing granddad. And then there he bumps into his high school crush, who is straight, kind of, and he also bumps into another guy who is bad, but he's like, it'll never happen. And it's just really good. It's very feel good. It's got a really weird like Gilmore Girls energy, like Twin Peaks energy also. Very autumnal, very cozy, very cute. You should watch it. Last time I watched it was with my bestie Gary, and he liked it, but also he likes every movie ever because he's always like, whoa, cinema. So, but yeah, I think it's just one of those like really unknown, not unknown, just underappreciated that's the word, LGBTQ plus movies, and you should watch it. It's usually on Prime. I think last time I watched it was on ITV. Maybe I'm wrong. I would love to own it on DVD. Love you. So yeah, Biggie didn't get it watched. The Lake House. Love the Lake House. Do I have it here? The Lake House. Actually, I have so many of these DVDs here. The Lake House. I love this movie. It makes no sense. Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves, weird like time travel scenario where they send each other letters through a mailbox that is connecting one person from the past to the other person in the future. And also, what's his face cousin from The Bear, isn't it? It's so dusty. But yeah, love these two. I just find everything they do together so romantic. Anyway, and then another one that's in here is the Jane Austen makeup. I think I only watched it for the first time in 2020, I think. It just like came up maybe on Prime or something. This was deep lockdown. Not deep lockdown, easing of lockdown, but it was still like, was not seeing a lot of people. I hung out with my flatmate and that's it. And by hanging out, I mean tolerated being on the couch with her. And I watched this, loved it so much that I watched it again the next day. And then yeah, I just revisit it every now and then. Although I've only watched it 4 times apparently. It's about a book club and they read Jane Austen. What's not clicking? And it just follows like a whole bunch of different characters. It's got what's his chops from Hannibal in it, Hugh Dancy. And I love him. He's so cute in it. And it's got a lesbian in it. Oh, what's her name? Maria Bello. Love you. I was so sure I had something else up here from the list, but I guess not. Maybe I hate these movies after all. So I'll just put this back. And then the next one that I've watched 4 times that I love is Bedazzled. I actually have such a distinct memory of Bedazzled, of seeing it when I was like 12, and I think I only caught like the last half of it or something when it was on terrestrial TV, so I couldn't rewind. And I literally remember going to write in my diary like, I watched an amazing movie today. It had Brendan Fraser and he was making a deal with the devil. I loved it so much and I think it's maybe my favourite movie ever. I was 12 and I was right. I was correct. I've definitely seen it more than 4 times in my whole life. It's just how many times I've vlogged it. Love you. Love Bedazzled. If you've not seen it, it's a classic. Elizabeth Harley as the devil. Brendan Fraser being really cute. It's really good. That's all I gotta say. Now onto the ones that I've seen 5 times. Or logged 5 times anyway. The first on the list is Minority Report. Yeah, it's serious. Minority Report, we definitely got the DVD when I was like maybe 12, maybe 11, something like that. And I think at the time I was kind of scared. I was really like, oh my god, because it is like a thriller and it's not appropriate for children. I think I was especially scared of the bit with the spider robots. If you've not seen it, this will not make sense, but basically like Tom Cruise is on the run and the police have these like spider cam robots that they can launch into an apartment complex to find the person they're looking for. And in that scene you see like an overview of loads of different flats, and in one of the flats there is a couple having sex. And when I was younger, when I was like, I don't know, like 10 to 13, I was really scared of sex. Like I thought it was really scary. I was like, no, get this demonic presence away from me. Until the hormones kicked in and I was like, who's gonna pump me? No one. You're 13 years old. Anyway, I've only actually reviewed it 3 times, thrice. Um, my favorite review that I've written for it is, God, it really is one of the best! Exclamation points times 6. Wish Colin Farrell had been in the last third of the movie. Sad face. Wanted to see my sexy little Catholic twink some more. And I'm not being homophobic, it's because literally, well, the movie's being homophobic. At one point, Colin Farrell is like this kind of, he's looking to see what the department does. If you don't know the plot, I'm sorry, it's like 5 million years old. Like, get it watched. Anyway, so he's there to like do an audit, I guess, and then Tom Cruise is like, that Catholic twink from the FBI, like calls him that, and I just think like, yeah, that Catholic twink, come on. Yeah, love. It does look like shit. I will say it does look like shit. Like so much oversaturation, but I love like the futuristic elements, but also because it was like made in, when was it? 1999, 2002. It's got a very like early 2000s like fashion taste to it. They go into the Gap at one point and they pick out these gorgeous pinstripe brown and yellow trousers, like chunky stripes, not pinstripes, actually just chunky stripes. And yeah, I think it's got like, I love when like movies that are futuristic have a very like 2000s flavor to them. I just think it's very endearing and cute. And honestly, like Loki, like they were right, because we're right back to that. We're only a couple of months away from someone wearing ugly brown trousers with thick ass stripes on them. I know I had a pair, so anyway, I think what made me revisit this movie in the last few years is I watched episode a YouTube video of lessons from the screenplay, which is, I don't know if they still have like a podcast or whatever, but it used to be a really good YouTube channel where they would just like go into a certain movie and look at a certain aspect of it, like either filmmaking or script or whatever. Like it was just really good. It helped me to see a few movies in a new light, especially this one and another one on the list. So that's my Minority Report. Logged it 5 times. Love it every single time. Not much else to say about that. The next one that I've seen 5 times is, well, I've seen it more, but that I've logged 5 times is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but specifically the 2011 David Fincher number. And it's actually such a tragedy that David Fincher was supposed to do the whole trilogy of the Girl series, and then they were just like, no. So they only got to do one, and it ends on a cliffhanger, obviously, because it's just the first installation. And what a shame. R.I.P. to what it could have been. Which is literally one of my reviews. This movie, it just has it all. It has revenge, it has Daniel Craig, it has smoking, it has a weird sadist, it has mystery and intrigue. Is it Christopher Plummer in it as well? Loki, one of my celebrity crushes for real. I think it is. He was also in Knives Out. And I just love him. Please wait till I confirm. Yes. Daddy. I hate that I said that. Anyway, yeah, this was another one that I watched in a video from Lessons from the Screenplay, so that was a bit of a anticlimactic like pause for me to be like, and there's another one on the list from here. Yeah, love it. Oh yeah, I did say that this is Daniel Craig's best dramatic movie, and I do stand by that. I haven't actually seen a few of his movies other than like the James Bond, the Knives Out, this. What else has he been in? You know, he was in Queer by Luca Guadagnino, so I guess I need to watch that, although I've heard mixed reviews. Anyway, really good movie. I think it's especially good to watch in the winter because it's set in winter and it will not make you want to visit Sweden. That's all I'm gonna say. Another one that I've watched 5 times, but I've definitely watched it 5 million times because this is another classic from my childhood, is Ocean's 11. Loki, why was I such a cinephile from such a young age? That's my mum's influence for sure. Ocean's 11, you will always be famous. Ocean's 11, you will always be famous. One of the best, one of the greatest movies of all time. I love a heist, and this really like solidified my love of heists for sure. Some of these reviews make me sick because they were so old. Like I said, something like, yes, it's dated, yes, it has a lot of problems, all male cast, boring, but I would still watch this anytime it came on TV. Girl, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I think the costuming is amazing, the score is amazing, the pacing is amazing, the script is amazing, and the whole eroticism is amazing. And that's what I'll have to say about that. Next, shocker, When Harry Met Sally. Literally maybe my favourite movie ever. Well, yes. I watch this, I think, every year. Or I try to anyway. I used another story of my teenage self being a freak. I don't know if you remember Radio Times. Do you remember Radio Times? They would have this bit at the back where they would like break down a scene and do like quotes from it, I think. And I remember when Harry Met Sally was featured in that back page once, and it was the bit with the fake orgasm sandwich scene. And I cut it out and I put it into my like school planner. I think like at the back cover. Why did I do that? I don't know. But yeah, I was just like enamored by it. I just like thought it was just like felt really grown up. Yeah, and I still do, to be honest. I think it's just like really clever, doesn't talk down to the audience, is like really what's the word? It's just really clever writing, very smart writing, very witty, and I love it. And yeah, I feel like now I get every, like I know every single joke, but there was a point a few years ago where like some things had slipped me by and I would still be like, oh my god, that's so funny. Oh yeah, this was another era in my letterboxd reviews, was I would assign zodiac signs for the character. I don't know why my voice did that. So in amongst me screaming that love is real every time I watch this movie, I also said I think Sally is a Virgo with a Pisces moon. And I do still stand by that. She's very pragmatic, but she also has a very emotional side that she lets out to the people that know her the best. Yeah, I would agree with that. Harry is a Cap, Aqua, Scorp. Like as in he has Capricorn, Aquarius and Scorp in his big three. I agree with that too. I think actually he's more of a Sag. Fuck the Scorpio, he's a Sag in there. For sure, definitely winter vibes from him. Cause he's like always trying to be funny and downplay his deep-rooted pain. Anyway, I don't know. I think it's also so weird, like when I first logged this, I was like so much younger. I was like in my early 20s when I revisited it, like after my childhood or whatever, and watching it now like at 33, 32 is such a different experience. Like I think that there's definitely some movies like that, some TV shows like that where like when you become closer to the character's age, you like see more of yourself in them. Excuse me. Obviously love is universal, friendships are universal, but like there is something very specific to like dating, friendships in your 30s, like relationships in your 30s. And I think this movie captures it so well. Although it's so crazy, like every time I watch a movie from like 80s, 90s, noughties, where there's like a 30-year-old, they seem like 50-year-olds. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if it's just the styling or if it's just like the life expectations of the time. I think it's a mix of both. And everyone was balding really early. So yeah, When Harry Met Sally, I love you. And then I knew this was coming a bit stuck. The next one I've logged 5 times, and this literally only came out a couple of years ago, so it's actually kind of crazy that I've seen it this many times. It literally came out in 2022, and I watched it 5 times. It's a Korean movie. Nothing embarrassing with it being Korean, I just couldn't finish the sentence. Korean movie called Love and Leashes. It's about 2 co-workers. One is into the BDSM scene, and the other kind of finds out that he's into so the female co-worker finds out that the male co-worker is into BDSM, and she's like, I could be down with this. And so they explore that relationship. And I think I watched it once, loved it so much that I watched it again a month later. Not even. No comments. No comment. Moving on. The Family Stone. The Family Stone. Love you. It's a Christmas movie, and I do tend to watch it around Christmas. Sometimes I don't. Sarah Jessica Parker, Rachel McAdams, some other people. I can't remember. I've got like total brain fart. I love it. I love it. There's, I think, especially the addition of Sarah Jessica Parker is so good. Like, her line reads are so funny. My favorite bit. There's 2 good bits. There's one where Sarah Jessica Parker, her character's name is Meredith, so I'll just call her Meredith. Meredith is making this like breakfast thing, which honestly looks hideous. It kind of just looks like a big omelette that you cook in the oven. Sounds absolutely hideous. But there's bread in there, so it's bread and butter pudding, but savoury. Anyway, so she puts mushrooms in it, and then all the family are like, isn't your fiance allergic to mushrooms? And like more and more people tell her, and then like the final straw hits. One more person tells her, she's like, I gotta know! And the way she says it, oh my god, Sarah Jessica Parker, EGOT win. And then another bit is when she's like, fuck it, I'm not gonna be typey anymore, I'm gonna let loose. She's at like this bar, and then she is dancing, and she goes up to 2 paramedics, and she's like, you know what would be really good? If we could find us a little bit of weed. And it's just like, yes, I want to fucking smoke some weed with her. Anyway, oh my god, and you'll never guess what. The writer and director of Family Stone also wrote and directed Big Eden. It's all connected. And to me, like, that makes so much sense, because, like, obviously the auteur is just, like, resonating with me so much that I've loved 2 of his movies so much. Anyway, love. There's another review where apparently Meredith also says, I love the gays. So good. There is one conversation that's like low-key homophobic, and low-key racist. But not really. It's kind of just like the way it's worded. But that's the fallout of it. Is she's like, I love the gays. Like, love her. Oh yeah, this is another Zodiac stuff. Ben, played by Luke Wilson. Who's the brown-haired Wilson brother? Ben is a Cancer with heavy Taurus placements. Agree. The man is just so chilled out and exudes Taurus stoner vibes, but has that spicy mama's boy thing too. A little bit too real. And I didn't write anyone else's zodiac sign. I guess I think everyone else is a Virgo in this, to be honest. Very high strung. The next movie with 5 reviews logged is Pleasantville. You might not have heard of this one. I think it's a little bit niche. Oh, I've got it right here. Love you. This one is also, this is literally the French DVD version. À Pleasantville, la pluie, la passion et la couleur n'existent pas jusqu'à ce jour. Basically, like, these 2 kids, Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon, get sucked into a 1950s black and white TV show. Chaos ensues. It's very, like, I Love Lucy inspired. I don't know, I never watched that shit. And yeah, it's about like shaking things up, rebelling, blah blah, living up to your full potential, la-di-da-di-da. And really good. Watched it a lot when I was wee. Watch it more now. There was one bit especially that, like, when I was 14, 15, I just thought about all the time. And it's when one of the characters who's in the black and white world discovers masturbation for the first time, and it's so intense that tree spontaneously combusts outside. Well, yes. And I was just like, oh my god, that's what it's gonna feel like when I finally have sex. And it didn't. Yeah, one of the best reviews I did of this movie is a little bit of lore. The fact that Tobey Maguire was in a group called the Pussy Posse lives at the back of my mind every time I watch this movie, but it still makes me cry. So what are you gonna do about it, you know? There you go. He was in the Pussy Posse with Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know who else was in it, but slay. Yeah, I tend to watch this when I have, like, I'm in a real, like, movie rut, and this kind of shakes me out of it. I'm just like, oh yeah, movies are so good. Yeah, you should, like, watch it. It's good. It makes me very emotional. There's a lot of, like, it's mother-son, but that never stopped me from relating to it. Yeah, mother-son dynamic that is just, like, very touching, very moving. So yeah, really enjoy it. And then another five timer is You've Got Mail. And I only just watched this again a couple of weeks ago. Why did I watch it? I don't know, I just sometimes get craving. With all of these movies I get, like, the craving. I'm just like, gotta get it in my system, you know. And the last review the last review I wrote for it was, in a way, maybe the last true old Hollywood film made, even down to the blocking and framing of scenes. Like, this was made in 1998, and I feel like that's true. It doesn't look like an old Hollywood film, do you know what I mean? But, like, there is a very old Hollywood film quality about it. Probably also because it's based on, was that a book or a play? It started, I think, as a book, and then there was a movie made from that in the 50s, and then this is kind of like a modern remake. And I think maybe that's why, but there's just something about it that is just like, I don't know. It's very a play, like the staging of scenes is very, I don't know, it feels like deliberate. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like a lot of movies now, they just like, yeah, just use that like a fucking handheld camera, even though it doesn't make sense. Can we just have a steady cam? Please, I'm begging you. My favourite line, well, I've got 2. One of them, both are emotional, to be honest, but one of them is more about the line read of it. Tom Hanks, I was going to say Tom Cruise, what's he doing there? Tom Hanks is like at the end saying like, I would have asked you to get coffee with me for as long as we both shall live. And it's just like very like musical the way he says it. And then the next line I think about all the time is Meg Ryan breaks up with a boyfriend. Spoilers! 30-year-old spoilers. She breaks up with her boyfriend because she's in love with Tom Hanks. And the boyfriend's like, is there someone else? And she's like, no, but there is the dream of someone else. Whoa. See, when you're single or pining, that line shot to the fucking heart. Shut the fucking heart. Also, I think I was meant to see this in the GFT, which is like a cute little independent cinema. And then I don't know why, but I didn't manage to go. And I don't know if it was maybe I was hungover. 2019. I don't think I was in that big of a party era then. Who knows? Anyway. Love this fucking movie. And then my most reviewed, logged, whatever you want to say, movie on Letterboxd. I've watched it 6 times since 2020, so that's a little bit crazy. I only watched it for the first time in 2020, even though it came out in 2004. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Saw. And it's crazy that I've seen it this many times, but also it's not. It makes perfect sense. And people who really know me know that it makes sense. And yeah, I was just like so pleasantly surprised the first time I watched it. I was like, guys, this is low-key good. I don't know, anything like torture porny, I was just like, I don't know if this is my jam, but I am a horror girl at heart. I do love the horror genre. And I wanted to give it a shot. I can't remember how I came across it. I don't know if it was maybe just on a streaming site and I was like, fuck it. And I just like fell in love with it. I just think the plot is really good. It's like almost heist-like because there's like mystery abounds, and the editing style is really frenetic and like crazy and fast-paced. It's obviously iconic. And there's so much homoerotic subtext, and I'm not the first person to say it, and I won't be the last. And a lot of my reviews are just like, I love their gay asses, love is love. Yeah, one of my reviews says, Alexa play Careless Whisper Volume 10, literally because of Lawrence and Adam. I almost forgot his name. So yeah, that's my most reviewed movie on Letterboxd anyway. And I just think that's very funny and very me. And like, I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah, please let me know the movie that you watch the most. Oh my god. There she is. Yes! How much did I pay for this? 50p. Dare you see Saw? So funny. I don't love every movie in the franchise, I will say as well. So yes, please let me know what movies you love to rewatch. What movies you maybe don't love to rewatch, but you've accidentally rewatched like 5 million times. I remember when I was a teenager, again with the teenage lore, I did watch Finding Nemo, I think 3 times in a row, because I had to watch the movie by itself with the commentary by the director and then with the deleted scenes interspersed. And I think it was a Blockbuster rental, so I watched it all within 2 days. No regrets. Yeah. There's many movies that didn't make the cut. Notable examples could be like American Pie. Definitely have seen that 5 million times in my life. But I gotta go by the figures. I gotta go by the stats. So that's the stats. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. And if you didn't, don't tell me. And I hope you have a really good day.